Todd, welcome back to GTC.
Hey, thanks for having me, Adam. What a great day to be out at the RBC Canadian Open.
Isn't it? It's amazing. The weather is great. There's not a cloud in the sky, and it's awesome to be out here, and it's awesome to be partners with you guys at Movember. It's been such a fun partnership so far, and a very important partnership so far, which we will get into. But Todd, for you at Movember, what's new right now?
What's new? Well, it's June, so a lot of people ask me every day, what do you do for a living? Because you only work in November, right, when the moustaches come out. And so it's great to be able to tell them all the things that are happening year-round because, you know, as well as I do, Adam, that, you know, men's health is an issue for, you know, millions of Canadians every day of the year. And we at Movember are working hard to change the face of men's health. We've got a couple of new funding announcements that we're really excited about. We are making a massive investment in Indigenous men's health funding, which is really important to us because those are some of the men in Canada who face some of the biggest health challenges in our country. We have a new round of prostate cancer funding announcements coming very shortly that are dealing with some issues that nobody has tackled before, really some issues around health equity and questions that are really persistent in treating prostate cancer, like why Black men get more aggressive and more pervasive forms of prostate cancer, why rural men have worse treatment outcomes than others. But we're also still keeping the fun going because that's what we're all about in Movember as well. And we had a couple 100,000 dapper gentlemen and gentlewomen riding motorcycles a couple weekends ago to raise money and awareness for men's health as well. So really a lot of things happening even this time of the year. And of course, we've got Men's Health Week around the corner.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that about the motorcycle. That's exceptional. And, you know, we're here covering a golf tournament and we see players, whether it's the PGA Tour Netflix series, or you see some of the top players in the world take their private jets coming into golf tournaments. And it looks like it's a great life. But Todd, we saw last week specifically where Grayson Murray tragically passed away far too soon at 30. And mental health is such an important discussion because for guys like Grayson, Lexi Thompson earlier this week spoke openly about her mental health and how she wants a break. She's 29 years old and retiring from the LPGA Tour. Grayson Murray is no longer with us, which is a huge shame. And he battled demons throughout his entire life. Just how important is it, whether we're talking golf or just human to human, to have the discussion about your mental health?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obviously a tragedy, and our hearts go out to all of those who are friends and family and fans of Grayson. I didn't know a lot about his challenges with mental health before this last week, unfortunately, but, you know, watching a lot of interviews and podcasts with him, hearing him speak so openly about his mental health challenges, and then, you know, having the outcome of passing by suicide that happened last weekend, you know, makes it even more important that we need to break the taboos and the stereotypes about talking about suicide, about saying the word suicide. We know that that is not something that's going to lead to increased amounts of suicides. In fact, what it is going to do is help people get more comfortable with addressing their mental health challenges before that becomes a choice that they're thinking about in their own lives. But we really need to think about looking out for each other, having those hard conversations about people's mental health and about the challenges that they're facing. And, you know, there are a number of great things that are available for people in terms of help now. And, you know, I would kind of say three things for anybody who's personally struggling with their mental health at the moment. And the first is that there are people that care about you, even if you don't know them. You know, there are people in this world who are going through or have been through similar kinds of challenges. And when I speak with them, they want one thing. They want nobody else to have to suffer like they have. Secondly, I need people to know that there is help. You know, we're 6 months in Canada now with a national suicide prevention hotline, 988. If you dial that number, anytime you're feeling like you need to talk to somebody, a professional is going to pick up the phone and have that conversation with you. And, you know, the last thing I would share with people around folks who are struggling with their mental health right now is to say, you know, if you're listening to this conversation that you and I are having, Adam, that you and I are having right now, You have survived 100% of the hardest things that life has thrown at you. So don't ever underestimate your own strength, your own power to make change and to take action if you're really feeling something difficult with your mental health. And I really commend you, like Golf Talk Canada, for having this conversation and being so open about it in the wake of Grayson's unfortunate passing this week.
That's very well said, my friend. We're in conversation here with Todd Minerson, the country director of Movember Canada, talking all things mental health. And we know that Movember is the official men's health partner here on Golf Talk Canada. And a very big week coming up in a couple of weeks' time, Todd. That's Men's Health Week, June 10th to 16th. And that's a big time for us to all really think about our health, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing to have 1 week a year where we can really shine the light on men's health. And, we'll be putting out a report later this summer on behalf of Movember that's looking at the state of men's health around the world, really looking into the ways that it's affecting not only us, but the people that care about us too. Our wives, our partners, our children, our coworkers, our friends. These all, men's health issues have an impact on all of us. And what I would love to think about for Men's Health Week coming up in a couple of weeks is to encourage all the guys out there who have kind of been maybe putting off something around their health or need to be reminded to make an annual checkup or something. Why not use this week, this time of year? Men's Health Week leads into Father's Day as a moment to say, like, why don't I get some of that done? Why don't I check it off the list? Why don't I take some action about my own health? Because, there are a lot of people that rely on us. There are a lot of people that care about us. And, taking care of our health starts with ourselves. And this is a great week to kind of maybe get off your butt and do one of those things you've been putting off for a while.
Yeah, that's very well said. And we've been partners with you at Movember. Golf Talk Canada has now since the start of the season. And a conversation that we've had a lot over our various meetings is how golf is good for you. And whether you're the three of us on this show, I'm 32 years old, Mark's in his late 40s, and Bob's a little older. But the beauty of this in our show is that we're three different demographics. We've all been through a lot in different ways. But the fact that we can all have this conversation together and do it on the golf course where golf is good for your mental health, this is just a great thing all around, isn't it, Todd?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things we love about this partnership and you guys in general, but also about the game of golf. It's a physical game, but it's also a social game, right? Some of those friendships and connections that people have through the game of golf are some of the deepest ones in their lives, right? If you can't give your buddy a hard time about shanking one off of hole one and then also have a harder conversation about how are you doing and, how are you really doing? Where else are you going to have that kind of conversation? And that combination of physical health, but also social connection and friendship is really kind of magical about golf, right? Mm-hmm. And there's some fun things coming on the horizon with us and Golf Talk Canada over the rest of the summer. We're gonna make a content superstar out of Adam Scully if he isn't one already. And we're gonna really try to dig into some of those things, which I think is going to be super fun. And it's awesome to also think about the work that Golf Canada is doing around golf is good for you, and how that can link into things. But this audience that loves golf, is passionate about golf. I hope we can help start them thinking about the ways beyond their physical health that is a really good pastime and hobby to have.
And as we get closer to November, of course, Bob, Mark, and I will all grow mustaches for Movember. Now, Todd, you can grow quite a beauty cookie duster yourself. If you could give a prediction right now, who's going to grow the most electric mustache, do you think?
Well, I think the Kino can probably grow one in about a half an hour.
Yeah.
But I think, Adam, you have the dedication and commitment, but I'm never going to write off Bob and his KG veteran status. So I think that's something we're all going to have to wait and see a little bit. But, we say around November, there's no such thing as a bad mustache when it's talking about men's health. So we're looking forward to seeing all three of them as we get closer to the fall.
That's so well said, and I've got some grays going on my chin right now, so not sure what my mustache is going to look like come November. But I'm so looking forward to doing that and having a Team Golf Talk Canada for Movember, raising funds for a very important cause. Todd, this has been a very great conversation. It's great to talk about mental health with you in a very important conversation regardless of the time. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us today, and we'll have you on again very soon.
Thanks, Adam. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Go Canada, and really appreciate you guys making the time for this conversation.